Hi, hello. Welcome. I am fresh off of work. I think I need like a teeny tiny little nap. I'm in the middle of like renovating my whole closet space. I got rid of like two big pieces of furniture. I have to figure out where to put all the little things, to reorganize my desk. The room is a mess right now. I also have a friend who is feeling unwell, so I want to visit her and give her like a little care package in a few hours. And before I do that, I have to basically prep for tomorrow morning. I work really, really early in the morning. I decided that instead of doing all of that right now, I want to talk about books. I have books from the library that are now overdue, that are on my TBR, and I need to either read them or return them so I can move on. These are books I do want to read. I think I just had like too long of a TBR. One of my books took me about 2 months to read. Wasn't that I was not enjoying the book, it was because the main character was pissing me off. The main character was pissing me off, so I just would like be like, ah. The book that I was reading is called Dreams of Joy by Lisa C. And it is the sequel to Shanghai Girls. And I fell in love with the main character and her sister, Pearl and May, through their trials, tribulations, going what they had to go through to get from China to America. And now we're following in the second book her daughter, Pearl's daughter, and she makes like the worst decisions. She makes decisions only a 19-year-old could, I guess, but like it was making me mad. So, but now I have 4 books left I need to read now and return to the library. So the first book I'm pretty sure I need to read this book first, because I went online and I saw that there are 54 people waiting on hold for this book, and I'm being a fat jerk just letting it sit here and not reading it, and letting other people read it. So the first book is The Candy House by Jennifer Egan. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And I'm really confused by this synopsis. It sounded like really exciting. I just kind of was like, I think after I picked up some of the other books, I was just browsing and this was like a last minute pickup. This book is about someone who created a technology where you can materialize your memories or your unconsciousness, I think they call it. And you can exchange it for information, etc., etc. It's giving very Black Mirror episode. I don't know what the episode's called, but it's giving Black Mirror. And they even describe that it's told from like either different point of views and different writing styles. So I'm a little bit worried I'm going to be confused reading the books. Next one is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I just kept hearing so many things about this book. I love mystery, thriller, horror books like as a default. The next on this TBR list is Yinka, Where's Your Husband? By Lizzie Demilola Blackburn. Again, I hope I pronounced that correctly. It's about a British Nigerian woman. She's a 30-something accomplished intellectual. It sounds like she got a good job. She's got friends. She's got good family. She just has not found love yet. I'm not a huge romance fan, but it feels like maybe this will lean more into like self-love, self-discovery. And if she happens to find love, then cool. But yeah, I'm excited about that. It seems really cute. And then the last book is Circe by Madeline Miller. I don't know anything about this author. I don't really know anything about the book. I don't know anything about Greek, Roman mythology. But the only reason why I picked up this book is because I did hear good things and my brother highly recommended it. This is probably, though, my book I'm least excited for. I'm just not quite sure if this is a book for me. But let's see. Just gonna give a quick update. I'm just about to go run some errands, hang out around town. I have the day off, so I just want to like spend some time to myself. Here is an update on The Candy House. So I am not liking the candy house at all. I'm not liking it. So it was around like the 30-page mark. I was like, I think I'm gonna DNF it. I don't like this book. Don't get where it's going. But I told myself to make it to at least 100 pages. So I do know a little bit more about the story. So you're introduced to Bix, who you think is going to be the main character because he invents the own your unconscious device thing where it's like you sign up for this service and then your memories along with your thoughts during those memories are uploaded to like a cloud-like service that anyone can access. So it could be quite nefarious, which I was like, ooh, where's this gonna go? Like, they even hinted with one of the other characters, like, he really is, like, kind of obsessed with this girl at work. Kind of, like, has this thought, like, I could see how she was with her other sexual partners, because if they signed up for the cloud, I could see it, but I'm not gonna go there. But I was like, okay, good, but you're also kind of weird otherwise. What's going on? Like... so let me back up just a little bit. So it is starts with Bix, who creates it, and then right when you kind of get to know this character and his family life and like what initiated the idea for him to create it, I haven't seen him again in the for a while, so maybe it'll go back to him. But then they start with this other character, and then I'm like, okay, let me see where this is going. He's kind of connected to, or this person's kind of connected to Bix. Then we go to this other person who's like now several steps removed from Bix. And then another character who's several steps removed from Bix. So I think it's just a bunch of interconnected stories that, you know, kind of dip into the own your unconscious device, but they haven't really like gone there yet. Wish like, if I have to read a bunch of like short stories, instead of showing me like the slow evolution, kind of wish, sort of like the Black Mirror episode, they just would have just jumped in like, okay, here's this guy who started it. Okay, now here's like different short stories on how people have utilized it. I started to get intrigued a little bit with the current story I'm on, but I'm like, I feel like I'm about to get invested in this guy and then I'm never gonna see him again. We're gonna go into somebody else. So I'm leaning towards just DNFing it, returning it to the library, and moving on. Some errands I'm gonna run today is, so I do need to do some light grocery shopping, and I also wanna stop by the art store. I started making my own paper, and I want to test like which pens can work with it. So just so I can like write myself little notes, or, you know, if I want to make like thank you cards. I'm excited about that. Let me show you the paper. Hold on. So here is my very first stack ever. I made quite a lot, right? I am gonna go run my errands while the sun's still out. Enjoy the day, and I will catch you up on the next book, whichever one I pick up. So the next book that I chose, Inca, Where Is Your Husband? So this book is so cute so far. It's it's a lot lighter in tone, which I think I definitely needed. So far, I'm at the point where Yinka is a 31-year-old British Nigerian woman. She's successful, but worst of all to her family, she's single. So they're like, oh my God, you're single, you ain't got no husband, you should have had kids. And it doesn't help that her younger sister is married with kids, or with one on the way. So Yinka is like, I am not worried about a relationship right now, this, that, and the other. Like, who cares if I'm not married? But she's kind of kidding herself, because the thing is she does want to be married. She does want to have a relationship. And even her best friend and her cousins call her out, like, girl, put yourself out there. She comes up with a plan that okay, let me back up. Her cousin just got engaged. So her plan is that she is going to come up with a date before then. She's hoping that at the engagement party, that she is able to find someone and therefore have a date for the wedding so her family can get off her back. I'm feeling like it's gonna be a love story or fake dating. Oh wow, these flowers are really cool. I think I need a romance. I need something to kind of pick me back up during my reading. Come back when I'm more at a halfway point, and I'll give you an update. Hello, I finished the book. I just got back from a really long run. My hair is crazy. I need to take a shower, but first I wanted to update you that I finally finished Yinka, Where Is Your Husband? So I'm going to tell you about my thoughts on the book while I detangle my hair to prepare for the shower. I tried the new As I Am color wax in the color red, and I really like the color. I didn't expect like, you know, a fire red. It gave my hair like this nice, like almost like, I don't know, kind of purpley auburn. Like you could definitely tell there's like a red tint in it. So it is a temporary wax. So after one wash, you can, you go back to your original hair color. And then I put it in my hair, let it dry. So now it's been a few days. It's been about like, I want to say 4 days, possibly 5. And now it's time to wash my hair. There's some tips on how to make sure it doesn't transfer. But to be honest, like if I play in my hair a lot, like you can see like there's some red tints. And I did get some red tinting on some of my clothing. However, I did like work all week, and with my job, I pretty much just wear, you know, sweaters, nothing nice. So it kind of it wasn't a big bummer to me. Maybe I put too much in the twist. I put it in and then I twisted my hair and then air dried. Then I had to put it on the blow dryer because I had somewhere to go. Anyway, that's besides the point. So let's get into the Yinka, Where Is Your Husband? So I don't remember where I left off at, but okay, so basically Yinka thinks she's gonna get a promotion, and then she finds out that she actually was made redundant, so she was laid off. So now she's in a bad spot, right? Like she's now single. Her family is already worried about her family's already worried about Yinka being single, right? Now she's lost her job. And because she had such a big, bad breakup, like heartache from the last relationship, she was really throwing herself into this job, which she was really good at. So now that she's made fired, she is feeling lost. She's like, who am I? What am I doing? Like, yeah, she's down bad. Yinka made bad decisions, right? I'm not knocking her for that. Yinka made bad decisions, as we all have. The issue is that Yinka made so many obvious bad decisions. Like, girl, what are you doing? Her family, she's like lying to most of her family, right? She doesn't want to tell them that she got let go. She's like, let me hit them up when I finally get a new job. But, you know, sometimes it's hard out there in the market, right? So it's taken her some time. She is trying to like open herself up more to dating life, try not to be so close-minded. Like maybe the author should have like expanded more on this, like more of like what's going on in her head, I guess. For example, by the way, I am giving some spoilers. She is a virgin. She is a woman of faith. She takes sex very seriously. Kind of like drop that in there. And while being a virgin should not be a part of 100% of someone's character, I wish they would have explained more why she moved the way she moved during her dating, or like really expanded more on how her being a 31-year-old virgin, has sheltered her in a way from dating life. Did have a boyfriend that she dated for like, I think 2 or 3 years, and she just said like, oh, it was fine, like he was like okay with waiting until marriage. But what was her dating life before this guy? Not really explaining a little bit more like how certain things about her life explain her behavior, because quite frankly, some of her behavior was childish. Look, she goes on a dating app and she meets this guy. And by the way, also, she doesn't drink. She'll have a glass or two, but most of the time, mama is sipping on water or lemonade. So she meets this guy at a bar. So that's how you know this woman is already down bad at this point in the book. Because she does not even drink, and she meets this guy at a wine bar and they end up having 2 bottles of wine. And then during their second date after that, she goes back to his place, and then when they're kissing, they're getting hot and heavy, and then she's like, whoa, you think I'm having sex with you? And he's like, oh, like, yeah, totally fine, like I'll back off, like, you know, this is only our second date. And she said, oh no, like I am a virgin and I'm saving myself for marriage. And he's like, whoa. Like, you're putting a lot on me. I wish you would have told me that. But to her face, he's like, all right, well, I'm cool with it. Then he ghosts her, calling him 15 times. And I'm like, and she's like, wow, I can't believe he was thinking like this or thought this way. He said he was a Christian. Like, I need you to stop being so naive. Thought this was more of a romance or more about like maybe finding love, but still like finding yourself and self-love. But the ending of the book wasn't really like that. Sure, there is a potential love interest in the end, but ultimately Yinka just learns that she is just happy being single. She's not in a rush to get married, and she goes off on her entire family in her to be a full circle moment, but and she's also trying to tell her family, send her family a message at the same time. So it's like, oh, okay. She also does not speak up for herself to her family, even when they are being incredibly disrespectful. Like, and she ends up making up with one cousin in particular who honestly was trash. Like, I didn't understand why one cousin was like, she's just going through a lot. It's like, okay, she's going, and then you find out what she was going through, and it was like, yeah, that sucks, but that still had nothing to do with Yinka, and why she was treating her like dirt her whole life. Like, what she found out like a few months prior that was involving her and her own relationship and with her husband and her own self-worth and her relationship with her mother. This cousin had a lot going on that was not too far off in some ways from Yinka. So maybe that's why like they end up letting them make up in the end, because there needed to be more solidarity. But the thing she was doing was honestly disrespectful, and I didn't feel bad for her when she finally called her ass out and was revealing secrets left and right, dropping bombs. Like, yeah, so ultimately the book wasn't bad, but just some choices Yinka made, like she sometimes came across as like a young adult and not a 31-year-old woman. She spiraled so far for so long. But you know what? She got hers in the end. So yeah, I give the book a 3.5 out of 5. It was good. The next book I'm picking up is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I've heard so much about this book. I believe it is a like YA thriller. I have to look more into it, but I'm only about maybe 20 pages in. Yeah, so she decides her senior project is going to be on this local missing girl who is presumed dead and killed by her boyfriend at the time. And the reason why is because he lied about his alibi by playing games with his friends. Later on, his friends are like, actually, he told us to lie for him and say that he left at this time, but he actually left way earlier. So that is within the time frame this girl most likely was killed or went missing. It came out that his alibi was a lie. He went into the middle of the forest and unalived himself. And when they found his body, he had the girlfriend's cell phone on him. Now, we don't know why necessarily, but this girl, the main character, does not believe that he did it. On the second page, it shows her submitting her senior project proposal and her teacher signing off on it, but saying you cannot speak to other members of the family. That would be unethical and your senior project will not be accepted. And then on the fourth page, she goes to the boyfriend's little brother. So I was like, okay, so she's probably, I'm guessing she's probably going to get really deep into this mystery, even though pretty quickly I'm assuming her teacher's going to be like, denied. So what's going on? I just got off of work and I also just finished A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I have 2 loads of laundry I need to fold and put away. And then I also have 2 loads of laundry that I need to wash and just a few other chores I need to do. So I wanted to come in, chat with you, and let you know about the book. So yeah, I finished A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. It was a really good YA murder mystery. The book was really good. Just a few stray thoughts I have. I know Holly Jackson is a Pretty Little Liars fan. I know she is. There was elements about the book where I was like, is Andy Allison? Especially, there's like a line in the book where she says something like, you know, Andy likes to keep her secrets. Like, you know who else likes to keep her secrets? And I thought that was just like really funny because I am currently binge watching Pretty Little Liars right now. I am just about to finish season 3. I think I have 1 or 2 episodes until I enter season 4. Now, don't spoil me because when that show first came out, I stopped watching after season 3. But anything after season 3, it's going to be fresh for me, so don't say anything. Anyway, so the 17-year-old girl, and she wants to investigate the victim, Andy's boyfriend, who is believed to be Andy's killer. I think they found like blood and her phone on him, and then, you know, he unalived himself in the forest and sent like a text to his dad like, I did it, goodbye. So it was very suspicious for her. So she decides for her project, she is low-key going to investigate this mystery, and she teams up with the dead boyfriend's brother, Ravi. And Ravi is so cute. He's so nice. He just wants to clear his brother's name, right? He doesn't believe that his sweet brother did it, and neither does Andy. So they start going down the suspect list of what's going down. And it turns out there is a lot going on in this town. Like, just like Pretty Little Liars, everybody got a secret. Like, it turns out that Andy was a mean girl. She was so mean. She bullied everybody. She cyberbullied this girl out of school. She bullied her sister. I think this book is really, really good. It's a page turner. It does slightly touch on some adult themes, but it's not like graphic. This was like the perfect YA novel, especially if you're like into true crime. And Pip is like this really smart, really funny main character protagonist. So I really liked her, and I really liked her and Ravi's relationship while they investigated. I want y'all to read the book, so I'm not going to give away. Welcome back to my floor and another load of laundry for me to do. Last time I chatted, I had just finished A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Next book I picked up was Circe, and I am less than 100 pages into the book right now. I think in a little bit I'm going to go to the beach, just to pick myself up a little bit, get some sun. It's been really rainy, really cold, and it is still chilly outside, but at least the sun is out. So I started Circe, and so far the book is good. It is taking me a while to get through the book, and part of that is, okay, so I don't know anything about Greek mythology, right? And you don't necessarily need to know anything about it, because every character that they introduce, they, kind of signal what they are the god of, like what they rule over. It is only taking me a while because it's simply out of my own curiosity, about this character. Now, again, do you need to do that? No. Okay. Who is Circe? Circe is she is the daughter of Helios, who is the god of the sun, but she doesn't have any special power. She's not that beautiful, especially compared to her brothers and sisters. And it's actually really sad because she gets clowned by everybody. Like, her father is just distant. He really doesn't care. He kind of just tolerates her. I believe Circe is the firstborn. But anyway, her brothers and sisters clown the fuck out of her. They clown her so bad, including her own mama. So she kind of feels like she doesn't have a place in the world, right? She is like the black sheep of her family. Gods and goddesses age differently. So she's still pretty young in the context of being a god. So she is young, dumb, naive. So she falls in love with this mortal, and then she realizes, oh my god, mortals die. She asks her grandmother, hey, can you help me help him? And the grandmama's like, girl, you ain't the first girl to fall in love here. Like, I could, but like, why should I? Could you make him a god for me real quick? And the grandma's like, hell no. But also, like, that's nothing you could just do willy-nilly. You can't just make a mortal a god just because you want them to, and it is out within the reach of all of our powers. So one of the nymphs, Skyla, she is basically seducing Glaukos because he's the next big thing, and she's sort of like throwing it in Circe's face, right? She's like, it's basically like, I could have him because I can, knowing that Circe is in love with him. I think everybody kind of knows. Yeah, so she ends up cursing the water nymph. I'm going to put my laundry away that I just finished folding, and I'm gonna pack up my bag and just like relax by the beach. Oh my gosh, it is so windy, but that's why I'm glad I got this jacket in my beanie. What is up? I have finally finished Circe. I finished it, not even 15 minutes ago. I thought that was a really good epic tale of what I've always thought to be a side carry in the Odyssey, which I read so long ago. So it was kind of cool to my memory bank, just like some things just like coming up about the story. But anyway, yeah, like this was a book about a woman experiencing loneliness, of not being accepted, of finding herself. And it's like sort of like a coming of age story, but over the course of like thousands of years. Like, you know, she was pretty old, even though she looked young. There was aspects of the story that I did enjoy. I enjoyed seeing the different meaningful relationships that she had with each character. Oh, and I loved the relationship at the end. It was a little messy. It was a little, it was a little messy, but she really like came into her own, and that was really, really nice to see. But the aspects that I won't say that I didn't enjoy them. I don't know. I thought that it would go a different way. For example, the whole section where she was turning the men into pigs, that was funny. I support her. But I was a little bit surprised that she didn't connect with any of the nymphs, any of the god's daughters that were sent to her island. I was thinking that because a lot of her, you know, most of her relationships that propel forward, that help shape each, you know, portion of her life into becoming who she is, were with men, with her lovers, and also her son. And she does form a bond with her lover's mother, but that was like very at the end of the story when she was like really forming into her own. But I was really surprised that, yeah, she didn't speak with any of the nymphs. Like, these are women who are also banished for one reason or another. And they make it really, really clear. The gods and goddesses are petty. They don't, like, they would kill any mortal just because they felt like it. They make mortals beg for praises. They treat each other like crap. So yeah, like, she didn't even bother to kind of learn their story. She just judged them. And yeah, maybe that was the point, but I thought she would have like an island of witches, like a little coven, or would have some sort of meaningful relationship with, you know, at least one of them, since there were dozens of them sent to her island, which I'm assuming for decades. It's kind of hard to tell with time because she's a goddess. I think maybe I need some more time to really sit on it, or maybe it has something to do with my ignorance regarding Greek mythology, but I am not truly understanding why that very short moment with Prometheus was so profound to her. Was it because that was the very first time she had really like defied her father and the gods? Is that why that short interaction like affected her so much? Like, she came back to that moment so many times, and all he really said was, yeah, I defied the gods. I gave mortals fire. Just do what you want to do. I don't know. Thinking about it, I think the scene is not, I'm overthinking what the scene is supposed to mean. It's really at face value just living life on your own terms, and it doesn't matter what the quote unquote rules are supposed to be. Even that conversation with her sister, she was like, girl, you've always been weak. Stop living for other people. Like, you need to live for yourself. We all do. Why can't you? And she was right. Check out Song of Achilles at some point. That seems really, I've heard a lot of great things about that as well. So while there are aspects that, you know, I'm kind of thinking about, and I wish some things went a different way, I still had a really great time. So I'm going to give this book a 4.5. For the most part, I feel like I had a really good chunk of books that I read. Yeah, I DNF'd one, but all the other books just seemed way more interesting to me. And I was on a time limit. Like, these books, I needed to get through them like ASAP. So I didn't want to waste time pushing myself through a book I just wasn't enjoying. So maybe that'll be a DNF like like little plus. DNF asterisk. I think, yeah, DNF plus, DNF asterisk. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, thanks for going through this journey with me. This journey. This is just my journey. Oh my gosh. Thanks for watching this video, and I'm excited to come out with more. I am gonna return all those books to the library later on today, and I'm excited for the next round. So if you have any book recommendations based off of this video or something you just think I would like, please put it in the comment below, and thanks. Bye.